Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. Sorry in the lapse for the lapse of the video yesterday. Last night, my son went into a febrile seizure, and that's the first time I ever heard of it. Even though I actually had it when I was a kid, my mom said. But he went into like shock and well, he had a high fever. It spiked, and then he just kind of collapsed and his eyes rolls back into his head. And this is all when I'm like driving home from work, right? And I'm on the phone with my wife. So she drops the phone, she's screaming, and it's just a scary and creepy thing to happen. It only lasted 15 minutes, but it was enough that she called 911. My mom called 911. Ambulance came. It's just a crazy experience, and I hope none of you ever have to go through that. But he's okay. He pulled out of it, and but the doctor said just have to be aware until he's about 5 years old. But it was so crazy, and I didn't have much sleep last night either. So, but I am energized now because I had a lot of coffee and things like that, and so I'm not be able to go to sleep for a while. But he's getting better. So thank you all for your well wishes. Thank you so much for understanding. And let's get to DCEU. There's quite a bit that have come out so far. One of them is in fact that Justin Crowe from Variety actually pulled this on. This is actually from yesterday, that he has exclusive that John Cena is in talks to join Idris Elba and Margot Robbie in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. So they're saying that this role was originally intended for Dave Bautista, but because Dave Bautista has some scheduling conflicts, he will not be able to fulfill this role, which is interesting because Dave Bautista is in Zack Snyder's movie Army of the Dead, so which is pending to shoot pretty soon. And so what's also cool about this is the wrestlers are gonna be in the DCEU. You've got The Rock playing Black Adam, and we now have John Cena eyed for the Suicide Squad sequel. And he also tweeted this. Couple of things I forgot to add on this. For this, the role was originally intended for Dave Bautista, and he couldn't confirm, believes that John Cena would be playing Peacemaker in the film. I don't know too much about the Suicide Squad in terms of these other characters, but just looking at the Peacemaker, I could totally see John Cena playing a role like that, or a look like that. I don't know if it's gonna look like that because it kind of looks very, I don't know. It's very old school superhero like Nova or something. It's gonna be interesting. Now these pictures I'm looking at, I don't know if these are the new 50. I don't think they're new 52 or if he was even in the new 52. But just looking at these pictures, oh, here's a good one. He looked like he could play that part. I mean, some of these newer costumes, these newer ones, that looks pretty badass. And so looking forward to see what's going to happen with that. Is he going to be like an expendable character in that film? Who knows? If it's going to be called Suicide Squad, I think they may, amp up the stakes in that a little bit, more of a Dirty Dozen, where a lot of them will be pretty much killed off, and we'll see who actually gets killed off in this one. James Gunn probably one of those who wouldn't shy away from offing some of the heroes here and there. So I wouldn't be surprised that you'll see some of these guys just, take the bullet, if you will. But in any case, John Cena is going to be in talks. It may actually happen to be in the DCEU in the Suicide Squad sequel. So get ready for that. Hope you guys are excited for that. I'm still want to see what this movie is, if it's really truly a sequel or another movie. the producers they can't make up their minds in aspects, but hey, I mean, we're still getting the same Rick Flag, we're still getting the same Viola Davis, Amanda Waller, we're still getting Harley Quinn, the same Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang. They're all seemingly coming back, except for Deadshot, but because, like I said, Idris Elba is not playing Deadshot, that leaves it open for Will Smith to come back. And Will Smith, apparently today, had finished, with Martin Lawrence, finished filming Bad Boys 3? Yeah, Bad Boys 3. So, who knows? Maybe schedule might be open now, depending. I don't know. But we'll see more about that later, as that's quite a bit of ways, because we're still got to get the Joker. We also have the Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 1984, and supposedly the Batman. So there's still a lot more in the process of being made, or almost done, in fact, and be able to show. So look forward to those first, and then we'll have a lot more conversation about Suicide Squad as it enters more into the filming of that movie. But in any case, more things about the Snyder Cut has been coming out. Now, what's interesting about the Snyder Cut is the fact that more people are coming out with the actors and actresses that were cut out from the film, and hopefully we'll find more of them. None of them can really speak right now because of NDAs, but hopefully there will be something later on that will reveal a little bit more about them, and hopefully I get to talk to some of them. I've got a few contacts that I'm trying to get in contact with, and maybe have a little podcast or interview them, and I will respect their NDAs. If you're watching, I'm going to respect your NDAs. I just want everybody to know where you came from, how you came to the business, maybe the inner workings of the business and things like that. And I'll be very careful. Make sure I will go through the questions to make sure if I can able to ask you that or not. Even the hypothetical ones, you never know. But there is one person who's not really shying away from hinting, and he's doing it playfully. But Ray Porter, who we all know is our Darkseid, he tweeted out today, and I really like this. I really like the humor he puts into this. He says, "I like old books, and I kind of lie." And he has a post of these old books, and you see a little Funko Pop of Darkseid right there, and I'm like, yeah. That's hilarious. So I'm glad that he's teasing these just little nuggets, but it's just, and that's, it might be his favorite Funko Pop. I could probably, it doesn't mean I'm Superman or Batman or something, but he really likes Darkseid. But we know he's Darkseid, but in a way he's also could be just saying he likes the Funko Pop Darkseid. So he's tiptoeing around it. That's cool, and it's awesome that he does that. It just lightens up the mood in terms of the Snyder Cut movement, which has been getting a lot of attention from lots of different people. I've seen some more verifieds hitting on it now, trying to say it doesn't exist still yet, and things that are necessarily like not at the stage we are at in terms of understanding what the Snyder Cut is. So I am still boggled by the amount of people who don't know what this is. And by the way, Comic Movie Marks put out the Snyder Cut exists, kind of like a video, a short summary video for anybody want to put out. I'll put the link in the description below. Go ahead and share it. I'm going to try to find that tweet again and share it. And everybody do that. Make sure everybody knows. It's real quick, but it hopefully gets people an idea that we know it exists. It exists. It literally does. And I don't know why people are still kind of like not willing to live with that, or they keep kind of just assaulting on us for wanting that movie as a consumer right. So I'm not sure why. And one of those people is this person named at Jeremy Simser. Don't tweet at him. I mean, he apologized already. I'm just saying, just an example. He's a storyboard artist and an illustrator for TV and film. The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Game of Thrones, Deadpool 2, upcoming graphic novel hit Some Beatty. He's got a bit of followers, not a verified, but he's a storyboard. He's an artist, right? So he kind of came in and little bit in a way saying that we should stop. The Snyder Cut doesn't exist and stuff like that, and which kind of disappointed a bit of people in regards to we're trying to fight for artistic creative integrity. Is pretty much for artists and stuff like that. He said that he takes it entirely back. There is nothing fun about any of the Snyder Cut thing. He's just gonna stay in his lane, and life is too effing short. So which is, Jay Oliva came out, and I'm glad he did because he's a storyboard artist too. So these are two same for same, and he tells them, he says, sorry to break it to you, but it does exist. On a professional note, why do you care what these fans want? I love for the world to see what I did on the film. Maybe if you had worked on the film, you would feel different. And I guess Jeremy said that he told people to give it up. He expected Jay Olivia to tell people to give it up, and Jay says, nope, never once did I tell anyone to give it up. Please don't speak for me or suppose you know what's in my heart. You don't know me. And they kind of got into it a little bit, just a little bit, and he's also kind of saying that same thing what we've been saying, that he's a supporter, and the Snyder Cut movement is about supporting the original artistic vision of filmmakers and artists. So, if that had been something that this guy would have done, you probably expected he would, but because he's not experiencing this, he's just doing these stuff for, not that TV and films say anything like that, but there's nothing that substantially is changed in his vision, and so he doesn't care to fight for it. I guess he doesn't care to support that. But at the same time, even if you don't, you shouldn't, put a negative on people who want that. People are fighting for something, and even if you don't understand it, try to understand it, then rather than just trying to just kill it and not knowing what the heck it's all about. You're looking at it at a surface level, and we've been trying to tell you it's more than the surface level. So I think we just need to continue bringing these ideas out, to tell them it's more than just a movie and things like that. And I think that's why a lot of this, and to show that we are real faces, we're not like called Snyder bots. That's why that April 22nd video campaign is, I believe, is really cool and important, and I'm glad Barry Monetikit actually mentioned it. This was his original idea. It's a fantastic idea. Thank you so much, Barry, for bringing this idea, this campaign up to this level, and wouldn't have done it without you. We wouldn't have even thought about it, and wouldn't have had the courage to do it without you. You putting yourself out is an incredible thing, and hopefully we can all find that courage within ourselves, and to bring our face in front of the world and tell everybody why we're fighting this and what we're fighting for. So, but in the basic terms, release the Snyder Cut at Warner Brothers Pictures. But in any case, Jay Oliva, thank you so much for keeping support of our movement, totally understanding what we're trying to do, and in a way fighting for us. That even Jeremy Simser actually apologized, and I'm glad he did. What he says, he apologized earlier. After some thought and time to reflect, I realized that chiding people because they want Warner Bros. To release a Snyder Cut is fanning a fire that doesn't need fanning. I apologize to anyone I offended, and I hope you get to see your movie in the future. At J. Oliva seems like a good dude. So yeah, I mean, at least he apologized, right? So, and kind of leave us alone at this point, and that goes for everybody else, really. If it's not hurting you personally, if you're not involved in that in some sort of way, I don't understand why you would stop people. It's not like we're going out and stop people fighting for animal rights and things like that. It's weird. I don't know why they want to come in to say something, especially when they don't know the full truth. And I mean, I saw one today where they were talking about how it's not going to be different. Joss Whedon only changed a few things, and I'm like, whoa, you're like 2 years ago information. And I think that's the thing. They're so uninformed. And they're all of them are going by that one Hollywood Reporter, or was it the Rap? I forget, one of those that they were talking about how Joss Whedon was Zack's friend and coming in for only doing minor things. That was a hit piece too. So that kind of just boggles my mind how nobody wants to get further than that. So, but anyway, we'll keep continuing to share it, and we'll keep continuing to fight for it, and we're going to keep continuing educating the public about it, and hopefully, and there, little by little, people are coming to terms with it, or just ignoring it, whatever you want to call it. But there's also people that are joining the faction as well, and one of those has been, I've subscribed to him. He's from Film Trigger, and I'll link this video to the description below. He kind of has a little discussion about the Snyder Cut movement. This is his first year of doing Film Trigger. He had done this right when Justice League came out. So please go share, subscribe to this guy. We need every supporter, and he's one of us. And so it'll be great to support people who are in support of the movement as well. So everybody, this is all about release of Snyder Cut. We all have to get together. We all have to bring each and little bit of us and putting into the pot, if you will, to bring this movement to light, to educate people, to campaign for artistic creative integrities, and fulfilling artistic visions of filmmakers and artists. This is all the stuff that we have to make happen. It's up to us, really. It's up to us. I want to read you this real quick. Brandon Valenza, he responded to that Jeremy guy, and it is something to be said, and I like the way he said it. He said it in such a positive light, and that I'm kind of shocked that guy just blocked him just for saying this. But he said this: Jeremy, we just want you to respect others that work in your field. It sounds like you have an idea of what it's like to work on something and have it not come to fruition. Just imagine that on a massive scale. I hope it never happens to you, but if it does, I hope your fans come to your side to fight for you. We want to prove that fans do make a difference. And I don't know why he got blocked, but he did it in such a respectful way, and that's just to show that we do have respect for this. We do, we should have respect for this. I don't understand the negativity and hate. I know a lot of us will push back in a negative mode, but it's in defense of something that comes at us. And so for me personally, I just ignore it because that's what they want. They want you to fight back, and I refuse to take that energy back to them because it's pointless. But for those of you who do fight back, I like that you do it in a nice professional manner in the case that they really can't come back at you with anything. And if they block you, that's fine, whatever. They can't have a discussion in a good way, then maybe there is no point in talking to you. So That's what we want. We just want to have discussion. We just want you to be fully aware of what this whole thing means to us and the whole thing means to the industry, and hopefully you get past that surface level of us just a Justice League movie. It's just it's Zack Snyder fans and comparing us to MAGA or whatever or some religious cult. It's something that you just don't want to get past, and maybe you just refuse to understand. Or is it trendy to tease us or being cyber bullies yourselves? And that's just not working. I mean, it just for people who say they don't like cyber bullies, they're the ones being the bully. Very hypocritical, don't you think? Very ironic. But in any case, we are massively growing. I think we're growing a lot. And just looking at this Google trend here, you see that it has been trending. It has been trending a lot, and I want to thank Stephen Colbert for this because he actually sent me this for anybody who thinks that we're not being a popular, we're not trending. But if you go to Google Trend search, you just type in Google Trend search, you go to Google Trends, and you just type in Snyder Cut. Right, and then you can change the years and where it's been. So you'll see that it spiked up last year during the Comic-Con. The popularity was at 100%. It was all the way up there. Then it kind of went down, but it's been in the 40s, 30s. It dips down in November, but then it grew up again in 20s, 40s, and 60s. Then goes up to 80. Just recently in 80. Because of SnyderCon, and then we've been doing pretty well at that equilibrium. You're like 50s. How can we what can we compare it to? So let's just go Avengers. Okay, now I know I'm pitting Marvel and DC, but who cares? Now Marvel, if you or Avengers, if you type in Avengers, the popularity is not that much. It's like 20, in terms of searching, when people search for stuff, right? It's not that much. So you got to go into something that they'll probably search for, maybe Endgame. Let's see, Endgame. All right, so Endgame has not spiked until recently, recently in March and April 6th. So it's you see a low buildup and stuff like that. Let's go Star Wars. Star Wars is a very popular thing. So when you see Star Wars, it has a nice line, and it's always in the 40s and 50s, and it has a spike because of probably the rise of Skywalker or something. So it has a nice line, 40s and 50s. So if you compare that, and you're thinking Snyder Cut is just a little fringe thing, it'd be kind of wrong. And maybe if you'd expect that, but no, when you type in Snyder Cut, it's there. The trends, it's really there, and I think they know that. That's why we're always clickbaiting. Those articles are always clickbait because they know we're searching for that stuff, and that we're actually a type of a popular a popular subject. And randomly on Twitter, people are like, "Oh, release the Snyder Cut of the Mueller report." They're throwing us into the politics and stuff, and it just it creates a trend there too. So we're like if you want to say, we're in pop culture right now. And I think that is actually a positive. You may think it's being used in a negative way, sure, but that means people know about it. People know what Snyder Cut mostly means, and even though they'll probably think we're some kind of cultist people, but at least the idea that this type of thing is going on, we just have to educate them on why Snyder Cut is a positive, more than just a surface level understanding. We have to make sure they know that in a deeper understanding, give us a little bit more of that empathy towards the filmmakers and artists, and now even the cast and crew members that were cut out. That empathy, I think, can go a long way to sway the audience into the direction of rooting for the underdog. And that's what this whole thing is. We're rooting for the underdog, and a lot of people root for the underdog. They want to see the underdog win, and so that's who we are. And I think we're striving to get that win, and that win is for the artistic vision to be free, the freedom of art, the freedom of speech. My God, this is America, right? And so that's why we have to fight back. We have to fight back against the studio who's trying to really bury this, and we're not going to let them. We're not going to let them bury. We're not going to let them forget. And hopefully, everything that's been going on, hopefully with this video campaign, even the San Diego Comic-Con, and then after the video campaign, I was going to do like a John Stanky mailing campaign where we're going to keep it in the light. We're going to keep it up there. We're going to keep the trending up. We're going to keep them being curious. Just the fact that you're like wondering, what are you talking? What is the Snyder Cut? Let's educate them. Let's do it. Let's show them that we are beyond deeper than what they think we are. That is it for tonight. Please remember April 22nd. Let's put out a video on Twitter, Instagram, and or Facebook. You just have to do the simplest thing. 30 seconds, this is even less than 30 seconds. Hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm from blah, blah, blah. Warner Brothers, please release the Snyder Cut. Tag Warner Brothers Pictures, Warner Brothers Home Entertainment, Warner Media Group, AT&T, and Warner Brothers Entertainment. And if you have some time, because that's less than 30 seconds, you can add a little of your little flavor of your own, but those basic things would go a long way. And then at RT Snyder Cut, we'll compile all of those, and they're gonna make a pretty awesome compilation video after the fact. But really need to get that trending. If you could, if you want to know the times that most people are going to be doing this, it's going to be 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, because that is when Warner Brothers is at work, or just rolling into work, and that's also around lunchtime in New York, where Warner Media Group is at. So that's kind of what we're trying to do here. All right, guys. Well, that is it. That is all. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.